Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. 46.5 is the price for XRP today. We have seen the market go down a little bit over the last couple of days. We have seen a depression, a bit of a depression in the market. You can see it in Bitcoin too. Bitcoin did come down a little bit. It's up actually a little bit today here. Let me throw it on the hourly. And you guys can see yesterday we were talking about Bitcoin trading still in the $31,000 range. But since then we did see it decline quite a bit. So we were in and around here, and it did come down roughly as low as about 4.5%. Now we've rebounded back up. We're only down about 3.2% for Bitcoin now. Bitcoin trading in and around $30,100. So we did recoup. It did go back down under 30,000 for a little bit there. Part of the reason, guys, was some news that we got yesterday, which I'm going to get into. Market cap right now, we're at 1.17 trillion. So it's down about 3.11% in the last 24 hours. And Bitcoin dominance has slipped a little bit, although it's still holding on near 50%. That means altcoins have gone down along with the entire market. So these market moves still based on, largely based on the news. Bitcoin right now trading at 30,173. So it's down within the last 24 hours, down 3.47%. Ethereum trading at about $1,800, down about 4.1%. We got BNB coin trading at about $233. It's down to XRP. As I mentioned before, it's down almost 3%. And the rest of the altcoins down. Mostly everything within the last 24 hours has gone down. Let's take a look at the total three markets. So this is the crypto market minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. And let's zoom out there. You guys can see we have retraced a little bit here. And so I was telling my patrons yesterday that I'm going to be getting into another position very, very soon on my Patreon. For only $5 a month, you guys can follow me. I'm going to be sharing my trades for this coming bull run. And these are coins that, I don't usually talk about on this channel. So they're not the ALGORANs. They're not really the V-chains. It's not XRP, guys. These are other alternative currencies where, I've looked at the metrics, and I'm going to be telling my patrons why I'm going to be trading these coins, taking a bit of a different approach this time around. And so, I'm looking to put in about $10,000 into the market. This is on top of my current holdings. So I'm likely going to get into this position very, very soon. As I've mentioned, the altcoin market is down quite a bit. And one of the big reasons why, guys, is because big Binance executives have left the company over CZ's handling of the Department of Justice investigation. Jesse Hines brought this to our attention. Usually when high members of a company leave, especially in the legal department, there is often an underlying serious issue. So CoinDesk did report on this, taking from Fortune's report. Binance General Counsel, so they name off some names here. Han Ing, Chief Strategy Officer Patrick Hillman, and Senior Vice President for Compliance Stephen Christie are among those who have resigned, a source familiar with the matter told Fortune. In addition, Binance's Global Vice President of Marketing and Communications, Steve Milton, left the company in June, according to his LinkedIn profile. Their departures follow Senior Director of Investigation Matt Price's recent decision to part ways with the exchange. So Binance has not responded to this. The decisions by Ing, Hillman, and Christie to leave had to do with Binance founder and CEO Changpeng Zhao's response to an ongoing investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice, according to Fortune, citing a source familiar with the situation. The investigation reportedly relates to Binance's attempts to fool U.S. regulators in alleged money laundering and violations and sanctions. Patrick Hillman did post here. He says, apologies for any typos, but I was not expecting to be tweeting about this today. It's true that I am leaving Binance, but I'm doing so on good terms, he says. I continue to respect and support Binance, and I'm grateful for having had an incredible opportunity to work there. You can click here if you want to see more of the tweet. I just kind of wanted to give you guys the general consensus here. So other people have come out too, stating that they left Binance, but not necessarily because of what happened, like Stephen Christie. I usually don't tweet much and try to keep a low profile, but I wanted to clear the air about a couple of articles that were printed today. I can confirm that I am indeed leaving Binance, but the reasons for my departure are very different than what was reported. I have been in crypto since 2015 when I joined Zappo, spending the last about 6 years straight leading the growth and compliance functions of Kraken and Binance without a break. At this point, I am simply tired, and according to my wife, fat and need to lose some weight, and apparently I need to start helping around the house, do chores, so on and so forth. So it sounds as though Steve Christie is doing it for personal reasons. At least that's what he's telling Twitter. And Noah Perlman here also saying, getting a lot of calls from the media asking me if I'm leaving Binance. The answer is unequivocally no. I'm proud to be a part of this incredible organization as we navigate the growing pains of the crypto industry. And as you guys can see down here, CZ Binance did congratulate him on that response. So I'm feeling like, we're getting a bit more fuddy responses here than what the reality actually is. Credible Crypto here said this on the matter. I've said in recent video updates that the only thing I can really see that may cause another major liquidity flush or shakeout to the downside would be something related to the potential DOJ action against Binance, guys, and that is indeed what we saw. Bringing up the total market cap here. Let me throw it on the hourly. You guys can see that big flush in the market since yesterday. Market did go back down. He says this is nothing to be fearful about in the grand scheme of things, but it is something that may trigger another washout before we are ready for liftoff. So we should be prepared for this possibility so that if and when this happens, we are not caught off guard. Aggregate OI is still near $10 billion, which means there is enough froth in the market right now to cause another major liquidation flush if price can be pushed low enough. Over the last year, this level of OI has always preceded a major liquidity flush. So he is suggesting that, guys, we could see more of a market downturn. This is why I'm getting my money ready, trading picks ready. So for all of my patrons, just wanted to let you guys know, be on alert. I will be trading at some point in the near future. Gonna keep an eye on this market and pull the trigger when appropriate. So if you guys are interested in that, you might want to sign up soon. Gonna keep moving along because we've got some other news here. Some speculation on what if Ripple loses to the SEC. This coming from Attack XRP here on Twitter. And John Deaton did come out with a lengthy tweet discussing this possibility here. Now he says if Ripple loses to the SEC, there won't be any more money collected for years. And only if Ripple loses on appeal. If the Supreme Court takes it on appeal, which I believe they will if Congress hasn't acted by then. I believe Ripple hands down wins with this Supreme Court. If the SEC wins, Ripple will appeal and the status quo that exists today will continue over the next 2 to 5 years, unfortunately, assuming the SEC wins. And the civil case lawyers get a win because the judge in California follows Judge Torres's ruling. Ripple will appeal that case and there will be no money for years, if ever, 5 years from now. If Ripple loses all the appeals, the SEC would then collect the money, i.e. about $1.3 billion, not the civil plaintiffs. The SEC would then offer a payback, a fund for XRP holders to sell their XRP. This is what happened with Veritasium. So a fund for XRP holders to sell their XRP. Sounds like a bit of a buyback, but certainly not at the prices that were speculated on months ago. If I were a plaintiff attorney in the civil case, I would want the SEC to lose because the SEC will gut the damages for the civil case. Ironically, if there was a recovery, XRP holders would get more money from the SEC fund because in the civil case, the lawyers will get between 25 to 35% of the recovery for attorney's fees before the costs of the case are deducted from the fund. So that's interesting. Being on the 25,000 list is actually a good thing because a massive putative class of XRP holders is easily identifiable. By joining this class list, I put out, no one waived anything whatsoever by joining the list. In fact, if there was ever any money for XRP holders from the civil case for the SEC case, I'd likely be contacted because you have to give notice of the recovery to XRP holders, and I am in possession of a list of 75,000. You must ignore the morons out there claiming that by joining the 75K list and arguing XRP isn't a security is a bad thing. If there is one day a monetary recovery for XRP holders, these morons have no idea what they're talking about. A person can believe that the assets they own isn't a security, but if that person is wrong because a judge, an appellate court says otherwise, you won't get punished for being wrong. If there was a fund that allowed you to sell your XRP to the SEC or back to Ripple because of a civil lawsuit, you would not be denied because you joined the list saying otherwise. So John Deaton here just giving us more information about what would happen. And if some of you guys were apprehensive to join the list originally, anyone who tells you different is an idiot, he says. But the reality is I doubt the civil case leads to anything. If the SEC wins in the end, it would collect the most money and offer the best option, ironically. Also, if Ripple loses to Congress, fixes this regulatory mess during the 5 years of appeal, this all goes away. Bottom line, being on the list didn't waive anything, and if anything, it identified your claims if you have any long ago. So John Deaton essentially saying, it's a win-win for XRP holders. And ironically, the payday could be better. If there was a recovery, XRP holders would get more money from the SEC fund because in the civil case, the lawyers will get between 25 to 35% of the recovery fees for attorney before the costs of the case are deducted from the fund. So that is an interesting point there. Guys, it's a win-win for us. I mean, ultimately, though, this still might take a while and the crypto market is still going to rally in the meantime. So, it might be similar to what we saw last bull run, dare I say. However, I think XRP will be performing much, much better than it did here. I mean, we got to remember it did not get up to all-time high. It was actually down about almost 40% from all-time high last time, but this was in the middle, smack dab in the middle of the case. Fast forward to today, we are closer to a verdict. We are closer to regulatory clarity. And so I think XRP is going to perform much better, even if we do not get a full resolution or even if we get partial resolution here. Tim here on Twitter also mentioning this. Okay, so back to Binance for a bit. They're set to retire XRP addresses in the upcoming wallet upgrade. So guys, if you are using Binance, you might want to pay attention to this. Binance discloses that some existing XRP deposit addresses and memos will expire within the third quarter of 2023. So we're getting close to that, urging affected users to obtain new ones for ease of transfers. The world's largest digital exchange has set out to modify deposit addresses and memos for some cryptocurrencies. So if you guys are using Binance again, they're doing it for other coins as well. So BTC, BCH, XRP, Solana, XMR, LTC, ADA, Doge, DOT, Filecoin, FIL, Algorand, and AVAX. Per the announcement, the existing deposit addresses and memos used by some users to receive XRP in their Binance accounts will expire or become less functional between July and September 2023. So we're already in July. I have a feeling this has nothing to do with, this story here, the DOJ investigation. Just, a bit of housekeeping that I thought I would make note of if you guys are using the Binance exchange. So wanted to thank Tim for posting that. Mr. Intuitive Troomers Only posting this. Whoa, did X-Spectre just say that they're willing to leave the XRP ledger? And yeah, there were some F-bombs released here too. Also, I see Sento Sumo Saba applauding this. Do you feel the same way? Does Bob Way agree on this? Guys, what the heck is going on here? I'm feeling like we're getting blindsided by all kinds of information today. Listen to this.
I have been in lots of discussions with him. I support whatever he's doing. However, I don't know. I really don't know. And I've been looking about two projects building on the XRPL. And let's be honest, there are only a few that have commercial viability. And I try not to sound too frustrated, but if you guys know what we have done with a big team and how much we invested, and then the recognition that we ask to one big player and not getting it, and seeing that they support all kinds of total useless shit, that's mind-blowing. And I'm running a company with 50 people. I'm paying them every month out of my own pockets. And I think with Bob and Neil, we have really something good going on. We get grants from HBAR, we get grants from XDC, chains where we're not even building on. And let's be honest, the centralized authority on the XRPL refuses to even give us a tap on the shoulder. Well, them.
Well, you mean specifically from a grant perspective?
Just in general, I don't need money. I just would like a specific player to be supportive to people that are actually building stuff, and that's absolutely not present. I see Daniel being very happy in here. I hope he comes up as well. But
I hope not.
You probably hear it on my voice, Some people are really playing games. And if they keep doing that, I will publicize emails, messages, everything, what they have said to us. And then everybody will know what they say and how they do. And I can promise you, I'm more worried about them as a company than about my company, because they're a bunch of liars.
Ouch. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. I don't think anybody was. Crypto Eddie, if you guys noticed, was laughing at the statement there. Some other people commenting on this. Some influential members of the XRP community, Moonchaser here. Anyone can build on the XRPL, but in terms of grants, devs, and tech support, RippleX is seen as the main vehicle, and teams that bring heightened awareness and attention to the new XRPL projects. As an observer, I believe that Xspector's voice has been bubbling underneath the surface within the general XRPL community for a while. It raises the more burning question. If an XRPL project doesn't receive public recognition or endorsement from Ripple, are they likely to continue building because of the tech, or will the perceived lack of ecosystem support drive them to build elsewhere? These are all very, very interesting questions. I know Ripple, I guess through the Ripple X initiative, has been very good at, supporting a lot of these projects, but not everybody can be supported. Clearly, going back here, Tipsy Tiger down here saying, not sure what is going on here, as I haven't listened to the full spaces, but if there is an expectation of Ripple being able to lean into the XRP-LF to give this project credit in some way, then forget it. That is not how it should work. The XRPLF should be independent. So that's another interesting point here. Digital Perspectives was asking Bob Way, do you endorse this? Interesting to note, Bob Way did comment on this. So I'm not sure exactly what he said, but clearly Ripple hasn't been very interested in supporting Xspector as an XRPL project. We've been turned down multiple times for XRPL grants and even for their XRPL Accelerator program. Maybe Monica Long and Brad Garlinghouse don't like me. So a bit of a deflection there. I don't know. Again, this has been democratized, a level playing field. Anybody can build on it, but not everybody's going to get a grant. It sounds as though he feels like he was entitled to a grant. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I haven't been following the full story. So maybe if you guys have some more insight, tag me on Twitter or mention it in the comments section. I just thought I would bring that to your attention. Another hit too. Ripple rival Stellar announces White BIT's integration into MoneyGram access. Guys, this coming from Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed. So I know some of you guys may own XLM, and to be honest, we did uncover a recent MoneyGram patent that is still going to be using XRP. So I'm honestly wondering if MoneyGram is playing both sides of this. Stellar, though, they announced that White BIT cryptocurrency exchange has become the latest partner to join the MoneyGram access. The decentralized open source network made this known in a tweet yesterday. According to the announcement, the integration will allow White BIT to give its users access to MoneyGram's crypto to cash off ramps across supported locations. But this is specifically in the Ukraine, so the Ukraine only. And here's the announcement to that effect. Fiat on-ramps and off-ramps cash through MoneyGram. Following the announcement, White BIT has become the 6th partner to join MoneyGram Access. Other service partners include Vibrant, Lobster, Circle, Decaf, and Beans. Some of the names of these projects. For context, MoneyGram Access is a MoneyGram product powered by the Stellar Network, and the solution allows digital wallets and fintech applications to make money available to the unbanked. So more utility, guys, user access through MoneyGram over the Stellar blockchain. And so, yeah, it is interesting to say that this is a Ripple rival. Stellar, in a lot of cases, we see these two names side by side, but Ripple, guys, they have been the more successful cousin because of the multitude of partnerships that we've been hearing constantly over the last half decade or so, probably longer than that. One of those initial ones was Temenos. So the bigger partnerships too, I think, are more impressive in a lot of ways than, all the little partnerships that some of these other companies are forging. Temenos, again, one of the bigger ones, they just announced that Bancoppel, part of Grupo Coppel, one of the largest organizations in Mexico, which includes brands such as Afore Coppel and Tendas Coppel, has selected Temenos to continue its technological transformation, driving modern banking services. So, as we know, Temenos is a Ripple-enabled company, and they do the back end for a lot of these banks. We're seeing more and more banks, too, wanting to utilize Temenos' services to integrate. I'm sure a lot of this has to do with the ISO 20022 standard. Bancoppel was the first to offer loans to Mexicans who had no possibility of providing their income, providing them with microloans for small purchases with store credit since 1941. Today, Temenos will support the group's vision in continuing to create a more inclusive, sustainable, and socially responsible future. And of course, with the XRP ledger, modernizing cross-border transactions here, they're saying microloans as well. So I don't know how much those loans are going to be. However, all payments can run efficiently over the XRP ledger. Bancoppel will benefit from Temenos' proven technology leadership, extensive experience in Mexico, and strong reputation with existing customers. The implementation of this platform will not only provide the bank with greater efficiency and sustainability, but will also support Bancoppel's digital transformation project. Here's a quote, guys. Historically, the mass market in Mexico has been underserved by conventional traditional banking, with much less access to credit and financial services. The other thing is, considering the ever-growing inflation, I'm feeling like, the people who were underserved before are going to be even more underserved today. And even in Western countries, more people are getting poorer and poorer. So underserved populations, perhaps the companies like the Money Marts and, those companies, quick cash on demand, a lot of those companies, I think, will likely start utilizing RippleNet, if not, disappear. And then, maybe smaller banks will pick up the slack. But this is all part and parcel to where the world is going anyway. Our objective with this partnership with Temenos is to continue being the favorite bank of the popular class in Mexico, providing solutions that improve their quality of life. This transformation project will increase efficiency by creating an open ecosystem with easy integration through APIs, which will allow us to easily create simple and more accessible banking services. And so Temenos is the solution there, guys. A Ripple-enabled company that can really help the transformation of payments in the country of Mexico. So some great news there. Not to mention, guys, some of these older mentions of Ripple, and I'm not going to get into them in detail, but I thought I'd bring up this because Mr. Mann was also bringing this to light. I had brought OpenFigi to the light for all of you last year. Here they are discussing who Ripple is and how XRP is being used for interbank transfers, currency swaps, and ODL. So just kind of speaking to more of those grander partnerships and how RippleNet is going to be utilized in the financial systems for interbank transfers. Crypto assets can act as a bridge between fiat currencies, allows financial institutions to access liquidity on demand, etc., without having to pre-fund. And then, guys, they use the example of Ripple, using its global RippleNet payment system to connect a number of developing countries together to undertake interbank transfers through the XRP cryptocurrency. So specifically mentioning XRP, Ripple's XRP asset using the XRapid system. So again, this is from a while ago, has been in place for interbank transfers and are finalized over the local payment system, which added just over 2 minutes to payments, speeding up from settlement times of 2 to 3 days on legacy systems to 2 to 3 seconds, minimizing exposure to price volatility. So again, this is from Figi, Financial Inclusion Global Initiative from a few years ago. Another one here from Mr. Mann, just reminding you too where this is from regulations.gov. Ripple's proprietary virtual currency definitely looks like XRP is a currency and regulated. This is located right in regulations.gov under the ETF Act. So remittances, transfers under Electronic Fund Act, guys. This was all published. Notice here they say remittances, transfers, providers have developed and continued growth, expanding partnerships of virtual currency companies such as Ripple, which offer both a payment messaging platform to support cross-border money transfers, as well as a proprietary virtual currency, XRP, which can be used to affect settlement of those transfers. So again, classifying XRP as a currency right there in regulations.gov. That's a government website, by the way. So, I mean, the pieces of the puzzle are all coming together. And, the fact that Bank America said that they are just chomping at the bit to utilize Ripple in the United States, once we do see that regulatory clarity, I think hits a little differently now, as we're uncovering, a lot of these historical facts that have happened in the past that kind of just don't really jive with the current environment that XRP is facing in the United States. Wrath of Kahneman here also mentioning this. Okay, Ripple was mentioned in a recent Bank of America report. So this one's recent, guys. Harnessing payments innovation in the APAC region. Notes, SWIFT GPI has limited Ripple's impact, and an interview of the Bank of America head of Treasury of Products, Asia Pacific, Global Transaction Services. And I've got the report up here. I will link this in the description of the video if you guys are interested to read the full report. But I also just wanted to highlight this. So it says it's used as an underlying security measure in certain transactions, but it's not having the level of success that its preceding hype had suggested. It has played an important role in helping to digitize trade documentation as the technical basis of smart contract, but in cross-border payments, the work of Ripple is a possible exception. Its impact has been limited, he comments. The reason for this is the rapid emergence of SWIFT GPI as the favored solution for tracking and tracing cross-border payments. So because the incumbent came out with GPI, essentially a Ferrari shell on a Ford T model engine, those were Brad Garlinghouse's words, not mine, this has put a bit of a damper on the space, and I don't doubt for 1 second that the Ripple SEC lawsuit was also a coordinated attempt to slow Ripple down, to slow XRP utility down. But at the end of the day, guys, the partners know. Bank of America just recently coming out with this. I gotta say, it has been an interesting day. We've been seeing the market vacillate with a little more volatility. And remember, guys, if you're interested in my trades this coming bull run, For only $5 a month, you can follow me on my Patreon, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel, and I'm going to be trading very, very soon. I've already onboarded some worthless fiat to purchase some valuable crypto. But tell me down in the comments what you guys think, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.